Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Gine, and it's Gine Signatures. So today I'll be making this beautiful boo dress, or a shift dress, or a kaftan dress, or however you want to address it. So if this is what you're interested in today, please kindly watch till the end. It's quite beautiful. It's trendy. You can rock it anywhere, and it's quite beginner friendly. So if this is what you're interested in, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. So if you're a new subscriber or if you're a new person coming to my channel, you're highly welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to watch till the end because this is mind-blowing and this is well detailed. So without wasting further time, let's go right over to the cotton table. So yes, I have my fabric folded on the table. So in order for you to determine the volume of fabric you will have it unfold, you just have to take your shoulder measurement and then you add where you want your sleeve to get to. So when you add that up together, you divide your shoulder by 2, then you get the length of your sleeve. You should achieve what you want. And then for the length of the cloth, I've already gone ahead to get the length of the cloth, and then I cut off the excess that was right there. That was what I was doing where the camera could have captured that. So now the first thing I'll be doing now is to just get my neck width, and I made use of 3.5 inches. Yeah, so because this style is not going to be having any zipper, so that is why you need to consider that before doing your neck width. So for the shoulder slope, I came down by 2 inches, which I'll still be reducing to 1.5 inches. So but for now I'm just slanting down by 2 inches. So you slant from your neck width down to where you want your sleeve to get. Now we are going to be getting our round sleeve measurement. That is where you want your sleeve to get to. The round sleeve measurement, I made use of 10 inches. And from that 10 inches, I came in by 4 inches. Now this is totally optional. Why? Because this depends on how bogus or how slim you want your kaftan to be. So for my client, she doesn't want it to be too bogus and she doesn't want it to be too tiny. So I went in by 4 inches and I marked that all the way down. So I'll be connecting all that as you can see me do. So now if you want to cut both your front and back pieces together, you can do that. Just fold into 4 and then cut out. But I just want this to be well explained, especially for our beginners. That is why I'll be cutting the front part first before cutting the back part. So now for the neck width for the front, I'm going to be coming down by 7 inches for the neck depth. And this is going to be in form of a V neckline. Yeah, this is totally optional as well. If you want a round neckline, if you want a square neckline, you could go ahead and do whatever you want to do. So now I'll just basically be cutting this out. So you can see that this is easy as A and B, and of course as C. So I'm cutting it out as you see me do. So when you're cutting yours, you should make sure that everything that I'm doing rhymes with what you're doing. That is how you get to know that you're really on the right track. Now, cutting off the shoulder slope, as you can see, I left about half an inch from the line that I initially marked. So that is going to be serving as my joining allowance. So now I've folded my fabric again into 2, and then I'll be cutting out the back piece. So now for the back piece, the only difference we're going to be having is going to be the neck depth. Every other thing is going to be remaining constant. That is the same thing. So for the neck depth, I just came down by 1 inch and then I'm cutting that out. So as you can see, every other thing would remain the same. So I'm just trying to cut out the sides, as you can see, so that it would align with that of the front part. So like I always say, if you have questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video as well, please kindly indicate in the comment section. Encourage your girl, okay? Thank you. So now if you want this to have shape, like you don't want it to be too bogus, I just want to show you that you can get your half length, you get your waist measurement, you get your hip measurement, and then you shape it out. But this is just going to be a straight bubu kaftan. So I just drew out my waistline and then went up by 2 inches to indicate where I'll be attaching my pockets. So that was what I just did. So now coming to the part, that patch that we have in the front of the design of the gown, you can see that there's a black patch there with buttons and ribbons and all. So in order to get this, I'm going to be folding my plain fabric, that is that of the black color, into, just fold into 2, and then for the length of from the V part, you can come down by 12 inches or thereabouts. You don't want it to be too long. So, and then trace out the neckline like this, and then lift up your fabric and then cut out the excess, though I'll still be adjusting this as we go on. So now this is what I have. So I just want to ascertain that I got the V neckline properly, because I felt like I didn't really get that point very well. So that's why I placed it back and then trimmed off whatever I needed to trim off. So now I have the perfect length for the V depth. So now this is what I'll be working with to get that beautiful design on the front. So what I have in total is about, I didn't really say that, about 12 or 19 inches, I think, yeah. So on the shoulder area, I'll be coming in by 5 inches, and then I'll be trying to get the whole length of that thing. I just want to draw a straight line so that I'll cut out the excess that I will not be needing. So you can see that I started marking that from my shoulder area, because of course the shoulder area, when you look at the thumbnail, you see that it's not very wide, yeah. So you just have to consider all that when you're trying to replicate a design. You need to look very well as in details. So this is what I have. So now on this other side of this pattern, I'll just be going on by 4 inches, but I later went up by 1 inch again to make it higher, because I felt like the V was not giving me the V that I wanted. I still went up a little bit up higher, but I'll be coming back to that later. So now on the shoulder area, I actually came down by 1 inch, but I still later on off camera went in by 2 inches in order to get that curve, because when you look at the thumbnail, you see that that place was well curved. But I just like, it's better to try it out first. If you see that you have any excesses, or you cannot trim and then go back, but if you had cut it once, you may make mistakes and all that. So that's why it's just good to be careful when you're doing this kind of patterns, yeah. You don't want to waste your fabric. So now this is what I have, and then I'll be cutting this out. So like I said, for this side that I came down from the shoulder side, I still came in that curvy part that I'm cutting now. I came in a little bit deeper inside later on off camera, but this was what I could capture as at this point. So you can see that it's still a little bit wide, but off camera I still did it. Even after I'd sewn it on the fabric, I saw that it was not giving me the vibe that it was supposed to do. I loosened it up and then reshaped it before doing the final look. You will see the final look probably at the end of the video, so that you won't say, what you showed us at the beginning was different and what we saw at the end is different. No. So that is what I'm trying to tell you what happened. So now you just take it to the sewing machine, and then you're going to be running your stitch all the way. But I would advise you give this a very good press, sewing your pressing your allowances, so that when you're sewing it on it, it will be neat and easy for you. So let me quickly do all that, and I'll be right back. So I've gone ahead to do it. You can see I later on added a gum stay on my fabric, because I felt the fabric was too soft. So I added a gum stay on it before attaching it. So you can see that it was still not giving that look that I wanted. So I still lose it after this part. So for the back, I just cut out a facing and then sew the neckline and all. So the next thing we're going to be doing is just to join the shoulders by half an inch on both sides. And then I've cut out my black pieces that I'll be using to endow the sleeve area. So this, I cut it on fold because my fabric is not thick. But if you're working with a thick fabric, just cut not on fold. So I have 3 inches there. By the time I use half an inch, I'll be left with 2 inches. And that's the whole gist of it. So I'll be doing this on both sleeves. And then I've cut out my pockets as well that I'll be attaching. So you can see this is an adjusted version of that. So you can, if you look at the pattern very well from this angle, you can see that I had gone ahead to go in deeper. You understand what I was trying to say that time. So that gave me this beautiful look. So I've gone ahead to join the sleeves. I added the bands on the sleeves, and of course I added it at the length of the gown as you saw in the thumbnail. I equally added this tassel, that thing that is like on the lower part of the V neck of the pattern, as you can see. And then of course I did my cover buttons, even though I've not attached it here. but I later on attached it as you saw at the beginning of this video. So if you enjoyed watching this beautiful tutorial, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So later on I'll be using my hemming gum to attach to glue down the back part of that facing. So thank you all and God bless you. And like I always say, this is Genius Signatures and I'll be signing out. Bye. See you all on my next tutorial. Kisses.